The church bells tolled like a hammer against my skull, echoing through the empty pews as I knelt there, fists clenched on the cold wooden rail. God, if this is a sin, I whispered, my voice cracking in the stale air scented with old incense and polished oak. Then why does it feel like the only truth I've ever known? But the words stuck in my throat. I couldn't confess it, not to him. Not here in this Brooklyn cathedral where my family had dragged me every Sunday since I was a kid. Instead, I bolted, the heavy doors slamming behind me with a thud that matched my racing heart. Outside, the New York morning buzzed with life, taxis honking, steam rising from street vents like ghosts in the crisp autumn air. I hailed a cab, my breath fogging the window as I stared at the blur of brownstones whipping by. Jade. Her name pulsed in my mind like a lifeline. We'd been friends since college. Roommates in that cramped NYU dorm where late-night talks turned into something deeper, unspoken. She was the one who made me laugh until my sides ached. Who held me when my dad's drinking binges left me shattered. But lately, her touch lingered too long. Her eyes held mine with a heat that terrified me. I got out at her loft in Williamsburg, the industrial brick building smelling of fresh paint and coffee. Jade opened the door in her paint-splattered overalls, her dark curls tied back, green eyes widening in surprise. Gemma? What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. She pulled me inside, her hand warm on my arm, sending sparks up my spine. The loft was her sanctuary, canvases stacked against walls, the faint turpentine tang mixing with the aroma of brewing espresso. Sunlight streamed through the tall windows, casting golden pools on the hardwood floor. I was at church, I blurted, collapsing onto her worn leather couch. My voice trembled, the words tumbling out like they'd been dammed up too long. I went to confess. Everything. About us. But I couldn't. It wasn't a confession at church, it was what I told her instead. Wait. No, that wasn't right. I hadn't said it yet. Jade sat beside me, her knee brushing mine, the contact electric. She tilted her head, that soft smile playing on her lips, the one that always made my stomach flip. Confess what? Gem, she asked gently, her fingers tracing idle patterns on the cushion between us. I could hear the distant rumble of the subway beneath us, feel the vibration in my bones. My heart pounded, a drumbeat urging me forward. This was the Maverick, the raw edge where friendship bled into love. And I was teetering on it. That I'm in love with you, I said. The words exploding out, sharp and unfiltered. Not as friends. As more. And it's killing me because my family's so damn traditional, they disown me. Hell. I grew up thinking this was wrong. But every time I look at you, Jade, it's like the world makes sense. Your laugh. The way you bite your lip when you're painting. How you make me feel seen in this chaotic city. Tears stung my eyes. Hot and unrelenting. I sighed deeply. The sound ragged in the quiet room. Jade's face shifted, shock. Then something softer. Like dawn breaking. She reached out, cupping my cheek, her thumb brushing away a tear. Gemma, she breathed, her voice low and husky, laced with emotion. I've been waiting for you to say that. God. I've loved you for years. But I didn't want to push, you were always so guarded. With your Catholic guilt and that perfect teacher facade. She leaned in, our foreheads touching, her breath warm against my skin, carrying the faint scent of lavender from her shampoo. We sat there, wrapped in that moment, the city noise fading to a hum. But doubt crept in like shadows lengthening. What if it's too hard? I whispered. My mom called last night, ranting about family values after seeing that news story about the Pride Parade. She doesn't know. But if she did. My voice trailed off, the weight of it crushing. Jade pulled back slightly, her eyes fierce. Then we fight for it. This isn't some fairy tale. Gem, it's real life. Messy and beautiful. Remember that gallery show last month? When I painted that abstract of two women entangled. And you said it reminded you of us? That was my confession. Hidden in plain sight. She stood, pulling me up with her, leading me to the canvas in the corner. It was us, swirls of blue and gold. Bodies merging in a dance of color. The brush strokes were bold. Passionate. Like her. But the Maverick deepened that afternoon. My phone buzzed, Mom. Asking why I'd skipped family lunch after church. I ignored it. But the guilt gnawed. We spent hours talking. Unraveling years of unspoken desires. Jade shared her own scars, coming out in high school. The bullying that drove her to art as escape. It hurt like hell, she said. Her voice cracking. A rare vulnerability. But loving you? That's worth every bruise. As evening fell, the loft glowed with string lights she'd hung like stars. We cooked pasta together. The sizzle of garlic and olive oil filling the air. Laughter bubbling up amid the tension. But when night came, intimacy turned tentative. Her kiss was soft at first. Then urgent. Our bodies pressing close on her bed. Sheets tangled. It was fireworks, her skin against mine. Whispers of "I love you" amid gasps. Yet, in the quiet after, fear resurfaced. What if we lose everything? I murmured into her shoulder. The next day brought the storm. I met Mom at our old family diner in Queens. The vinyl booth sticky with syrup. The jukebox playing faded Motown hits. "You seem distant, Gemma," she said over coffee. Her eyes sharp. "Is it a man? Work?" I hesitated. The words bubbling up. "It's Jade, Mom. I'm in love with her." The silence was deafening. Her face paling. "That's not you," she hissed. Voice low but venomous. "It's a phase. Think of your job, teaching kids in that conservative district. They'll fire you." Tears welled as she stormed out. The bell above the door jingling like a death knell. I raced back to Jade. Collapsing into her arms. "She hates me," I sobbed. The ache raw. Jade held me tight. Rocking gently. "She doesn't hate you, she's scared. Give her time." But the hurt lingered. A bruise on my soul. Weeks blurred into a whirlwind of stolen moments, walks in Central Park. Leaves crunching underfoot. Her hand in mine defying stares, late nights debating over pizza. Grease-stained boxes on the floor, the thrill of her exhibiting a piece inspired by us. Critics raving about its raw emotion. The turning point came at Christmas. Snow blanketed the city. Muffling sounds as I stood outside Mom's brownstone. Heart hammering. Jade waited in the car. Her encouragement a whisper in my ear, "You're brave, Gem." Inside. The tree twinkled. The air thick with cinnamon from baking. Mom opened the door. Her face softening at my plea. "I can't lose you," I said. We talked, really talked, tears flowing. Old wounds airing. She didn't fully understand. But she hugged me. Whispering, "You're my daughter. That's what matters." Back with Jade. Under the holiday lights. I realized the confession wasn't about church or sin, it was about choosing love over fear. We built a life, her art thriving. My teaching evolving to include inclusivity lessons. It wasn't perfect, whispers at family gatherings. Awkward school board meetings, but it was ours. In the end, love wasn't a confession, it was the quiet truth we lived every day. Hand in hand. In the heart of America. Word count, 1024.